Hi, I'm Dr. Rich O'Neill with this week's Checkup from the Neck Up, winning the Super Bowl of life, or the game plan for happy. Well, folks, over and over the football season, we hear the star players say staying healthy and having support from your team are key to having a great season. And perhaps not surprisingly, psychology researchers find that staying healthy and having supportive folks around us are also key to having a satisfying, happy life. Now, one of the research studies I read in graduate school was about making friends in college. Turns out the kids assigned to the dorm rooms that everybody walked by most often, like the rooms next to the stairs, had the most friends by a long shot. The more opportunity you had to meet people, the more likely you were to become friends. I remember thinking, can't be that simple. Then this past week, I had an example of this to research from my own life. I'm an everyday exerciser, doing my part there to stay healthy. So I'm a fixture at the gym, where after a while, you recognize the same people showing up over and over, the regulars. And we know each other even though we don't wear the same uniform, the team. Although uniforms might be kind of fun, come to think of it. Anyway, last week I walked into the gym, saw one of my teammates, and felt happy to see him. I realized then that without even knowing we were doing it, we'd become friends. And that got me to thinking about that old study and how he and I did it. On the surface, we don't have much in common. Other than liking the study, we're in the same place at the same time a lot. We're both gym rats. But as I suspected as I thought about it, it wasn't quite that simple. After a while, when we saw each other on the treadmill or lifting weights or whatever, we'd also nodded and said, "Hey, how you doing?" And sometimes later, when we were changing back into street duds, we'd gone the extra yard and taken the chance of initiating small talk. You know, the weather, the day's big news, SU football or basketball. And that made a difference from nodders to acquaintances. And soon, we'd found a few things we both liked. Big games, fair play, Mozart, the Syracuse Symphony, and we'd chat about those. And that moved us from acquaintances to buddies. So, nothing dramatic. Showing up, nodding, smiling, chatting to find out what we both like. Friendship. My game plan for the second half, all right, the fourth quarter, at least it's not the 2-minute warning, has more of all of those for a happier life. I'm Dr. Rich O'Neill, looking forward to the post-game party. Win or lose, either way it should be memorable. Thanks for tuning in, and feel free to drop me a line sometime.